Welcome to
We grown.
Question mark?
I'm Self-Care.
I'm super duper fly.
And I'm a ghost. Boo.
Can we do that?
I don't even know what happens after that. Welcome to
We grown.
Question mark?
I'm Self-Care.
I'm super duper fly.
And I'm a ghost.
And first things first, Superfly, what has had you feeling grown?
What's had me feeling grown is needing a vacation from vacation. Like, I am not built for just straight hardcore, we doing everything vacations anymore. Like, we not going to be up 24/7. We not going to be partying and drinking. Like, we will, but in time, with strides.
You make a plan for it.
We plan, exactly. Like, I expect to nap on my vacation. My last vacation, that's actually what I did mostly, was like nap. And people were like, oh, what did you guys do? It was for our first anniversary. And I was like,
hey, turn up for that 1 year.
Hey, 1 year in the game. I don't have my ring on, but you know, super duper fly, wasn't married. I am though. Let me get back to my point. But yeah, like on vacation, you really do just do a lot. So for me, like having this time for us both to just kind of rest, like not have to worry about what the next thing is, what we're going to do, like plan all these crazy activities, like just enjoy each other's presence and nap.
Yeah. And definitely that when I come back from vacation, take that extra day before I have to go back to work.
Right.
We definitely did that.
You can't just hop back in.
You need a buffer day. Always plan for the buffer day.
Right.
Even label it self-care. Like, I need a mental health day, so I'll see y'all the day after.
I need a day to unpack.
Literally do laundry, get my life back together.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what's had me feeling grown, is the fact that, like, I be needing a rest after vacation, even if I rest on vacation.
Yeah. That's a good one.
It is. Good job.
It's a podcast, it's a video, and more.
Okay.
Today's episode, I don't know if you know, but it's Halloween. It's like, I don't know if people do that for Halloween. But today we're just talking about Halloween stuff. We're going to give you experiences, share some stories. I don't know, whatever else people do on Halloween. So, trick or treat, smell my feet. I don't know, like, enjoy.
Yeah. We could kind of start with Halloween from childhood, Halloween in college, Halloween now.
No. Do you?
Yes.
All right, tell it.
Trick-or-treated freshman year.
Oh, on my block? My street that I always go to? Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Because we went as college students.
We were
I remember that.
in 9th grade. Not 9th grade.
9th grade, freshman year.
We were definitely freshman year. And I bought a child's Hello Kitty shirt. And like a little tutu to try to make myself look a little less old.
I feel like one lady was harassing us about.
No, they definitely did.
She was harassing us about not having costumes, and I'm like, "You gonna give us this candy or
Listen,
not?"
So we're college students, and they were like, "That's not a costume. Y'all can go." It was like,
"You're not gonna get candy though."
Some people didn't.
Yeah,
I think it was just that one lady though.
Yeah, there was some that was definitely judging us.
And
we did get a full set of Oreos though.
We did. Mm-hmm. We went to my spot. That's where I went trick or treating like my whole childhood. It's just this area, it's like townhouses and stuff, and they go all out. Like they have like trains across like yards and stuff, and it's maybe 4 or 5 blocks of just people who are really into Halloween and give you like full-size candy bars, and that's what it's about. And I love it, and I loved it, and I will love it
in the future. Would you really still go back out there though? Because you don't live over there anymore.
Yeah. Well, this year we're planning on, we just got the house, so now we about to trick or treat. Well, not trick or treat. We're about to be
giving the candy.
Yeah. So we've been trying to figure out. We've been going to. So Costco had this bag of candy, and it was like $19.99, but it was like I swear it was like a 700. No, it was like a 450 bag. And then John's like, Sam's Club got the 700 bag and it's 18. And I'm like, okay, well, we got to go to Sam's Club. But we never made it back to Sam's Club to get the candy. But then John was like, we got to be the full-size candy bar house. And then all the full-size candy bar
Those are legendary.
They were like,
they're expensive.
well, it's not that. Because I was like, you know what? We give into the community. That's what you do. Like, giving back. But they all had like nuts. And I feel like you're not supposed to give out nuts anymore. Yeah. That's a new thing.
Besides plain, you could. They have the full Kit Kats.
No, it was like
Hershey's.
It was a pack.
Variety.
Yeah, and it was like Reese's.
Yeah,
the Hershey's were with nuts, and I was like, why Hershey's with nuts? And then it was like,
you also gotta be careful, like peanut butter ones too.
Yeah, nuts.
Yeah.
Check the bag. Sometimes the bags say like manufactured in a facility with even if it doesn't have it, still has to have the warning on it.
The warming label.
The warming.
Or
label.
do Skittles.
Yeah. Well, I was just trying to get what was at the
fruities are usually.
What was at Sam's Club. I ain't trying to do work. I just wanted to, be the cool house with the good candy. That good.
I didn't get to go trick or treating as a kid.
My back cracked.
I didn't.
How was that? How did you feel about it?
Did you just look out the window and watch everybody else trick or treat?
Were y'all the ones that like turned your light out?
Well, I guess up until maybe middle school, we lived in apartments. And we always did the church ones. And the crazy thing is not even trunk or treat, because back then, I feel like trunk or treat is fairly new. Yeah.
That's fair.
It used to be like fall festival or whatever they called it back then.
Hallelujah night.
Yeah, exactly. But it was cool because you still got just as much candy with very minimal work. So I was like, I'm down with it. Plus my mom, if we didn't get enough candy, would buy us candy. So I was like, sound easy. I don't want to walk up and down the street at night for candy when my mom would just buy me some. Like, it's the one time she'd be like, go ahead, just get the candy.
You get the candy.
Yeah. Because she didn't want us like dressing up. That was the devil's work back then.
Yeah, man.
Back then.
I mean, my mom, I feel like there maybe were like 3 or 4 occasions she let me dress up. But for the most part, like, it was not really a thing that was encouraged. Being a church kid, like I think the first time, I lived in a rural area, so there were no neighborhoods. So she would drive me to like my aunt's neighborhood, and that's where I would trick or treat. And so like the first Halloween, I think I trick or treated. I remember she was like, you can be anything that's like one of God's creations.
I want to be Elsa. That ain't God.
Exactly. And so for that Halloween, this was before I was afraid of spiders. I chose to be a spider. And like, being a country kid, like, I was like, oh yeah, they're cool. They have all these legs and eyes. Da, da, da. And so I trick-or-treated as a spider that year. And it was so much fun. And I think after that, it took my cousins. It took my other cousins going trick-or-treating for my mom to be like, okay, I guess you can go. But for the most part, it wasn't encouraged. So like now as an adult, I'm like, any excuse to dress up.
And I'm still like, I still don't care for it because I don't feel like I missed out. Because I feel like it was just work for people. And I've always had soft life energy.
I can't.
Always.
My big thing was I just liked that I got to run on people's yards and then not be harassed for it. Like, I'm walking on your grass. What you gonna do? You ain't gonna do nothing. Watch me go. All right, I'm on the next person's yard. I loved it. Also, this is really hard to see you since I forgot what your name is. Superfly over here blocking my view. I hope the mic is picking up all this motion.
It probably is.
Literally every time I move in this chair, it's just like.
But that was one of my favorite things. I remember my elementary school did like haunted houses, and I was always like a ninja. I would always be a ninja. I'm like, I'm gonna go in there, and I'm not gonna scream. I'm the biggest screamer for any of this stuff. I go in there, and it's just like, whew, that was a lot. I was like, let me go again.
Scared either,
bruh.
No, I love it.
Every haunted farm maze, haunted houses especially. I lose my mind. I can't take it.
I never even put myself in this situation. I know myself, and I've always known myself. Like, I'm not about to be in here letting you scare me because I'm gonna be ready to fight, and that's not the point. So don't even go in there. Don't even do it to yourself. Oh, I remember this one time I scared my mom. She almost smacked the life out of me, and that's kind of. I feel like I get it from her. Like, don't do that. Like, don't scare me, because I had been I was watching too much TV, and I saw somebody do that to their parent, and they were just like all laughing and giggling together, and she was just like,
not your mom.
Not up in here.
Not up in here.
So Superfly, what you were saying is
can't even say it. Haunted houses.
Haunted houses make you lose control.
Let's go.
Okay.
So, I don't have a great track record with haunted houses. I have run out of the two that I've been a part of.
Mm-hmm. Girl.
One, I went with my big cousin. Shout out to my big cousin who would always like let me hang out with her. But we went to one on base. And, it's on base. It's literally like in an office building, and they kind of just, turn the lights out and like make it, spooky. And so I went over her house like right after school, and she was like, oh, here, you can wear this and you can wear this. So I had like the shoes I had from school, and I used to wear uniforms. So I had like, those little slip-on flat shoes, and I put on this like little dress, and then she had like a wig, and I put the wig on, and I was like, oh yeah, we're ready. I don't remember what she was wearing, but I remember mine because I literally lost both my shoes.
Oh goodness.
And my wig running out of that place.
Girl. How old are you wearing a wig?
I had to be like 14.
Girl,
maybe
I thought
13.
The story was you being a child.
That's what I said. She said wig. I'm like, that's an adult.
Like, not you being 14. That's a whole woman.
I was not a whole woman. I was a child. But yeah, that one was like the first one. And then I kind of was forced to, when I was on dance team in high school, one of those like peer pressure things. Like literally the whole team was going, and it was like in the middle of nowhere. And even the bus we had to take there, people were like trying to scare you on the bus. I wasn't a fan. We get in there. Same situation. I push people out the way. I ran up out of that place. I don't like being scared. I really don't. It's not my thing. I'm gonna run for my life. Flight or flight? Fight or flight. There we go.
Girl, you just
Freeze.
flighting.
Yeah, I was just flight. I'm all flight. Unless I can't get out of there, then I guess I'm gonna have to fight. So, yeah.
Then you just gonna be dead.
Nah, I might make it out. I can't say why.
Not if you
but
losing wigs and losing shoes.
I'm gonna make it out. I'm gonna beat you with the wig. Slap you up with them shoes.
You going down.
Whatever I got on hand, that's what we gonna use.
Okay.
There's a commercial. It's a commercial where it's like, I guess it's a parody to horror films, and they're like running away from the axe murderer, and then they're like, should we hide over here? And they're like, no, why can't we get in the running car? And they're like, no, let's hide behind the axes. And I'm like,
I saw that
this is so
one too.
stupid. But yeah, that's how I feel about those things. Like, why even put myself in this situation when I don't have to? Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Speaking of haunted houses, why are they so expensive? I talked to like my kids at work. They were like, "Yeah, we're gonna go to haunted houses, like one of them field ones or whatever." Jump was like $70.
Oh no!
But it was only for like 3 attractions, and all of us were like,
Mm-mm.
"All right, I'm gonna head out." So that changed.
Was that always the prices though?
I feel like the prices were.
I don't know.
always
It depends on. I think the ones in Maryland are more expensive because then I looked up one in Pennsylvania, and it was 50 to 60, which is similar, but it was 6 attractions. So it was like you're literally getting double the attractions for the same price.
Yeah.
So we ended up
Yes.
just not doing that
People
and doing Six Flags.
paying to be scared. It's not my life.
Couldn't be me.
Oh, I'm about that life.
No.
All about that life.
Was it you that took me to see Paranormal Activity? Somebody
Yes.
forced me to see it.
It was me. Because I think we were movie hopping.
I hated it.
Were we movie hopping? Yeah, we had to
Probably.
be. Yeah, because that was freshman year.
That's the only time I did it. Well, no, I had a cousin I used to movie hop with, but
Freshman year, I feel like I would just be like, yeah, let's go see all these movies real quick.
mhm.
It was definitely Paranormal Activity.
I
Joint was-
didn't like it. And I will never watch another one.
Oh, I watched so many of them. They used to creep me out.
Because
I don't
that
even
stuff
know
really
why.
be happening. Segue.
Doo doo doo. Ghost stories. Who
Do
got a
you
ghost
have
story?
I have one.
Oh,
Ooh.
Not y'all being that
What?
excited. This is kind of a, I don't know. It was kind of creepy, but I had an aunt, right? And she was about to pass and she was in the hospital. So we went to go see her at the hospital and she just kept talking to something that was in the corner. And she's like having full blown conversation and we're all looking like, who is she talking to? Like, and the doctors are just trying to be like, oh, it could be this. But then as she's talking, my mom is like, I feel like I know who she's talking to. And I'm like, I can't do this. Like, it was like somebody else who had passed who's talking to her like, it's okay. Like, just trying to like calm her down type of thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm just sitting there like, this is super creepy, but I'm just supposed to be here. And then literally the day that she passed, I'm in the shower. And every time I washing my face, I close my eyes, I would see her and I'm like, bro, I can't do this. I can't do it. And so I was like, okay, how do I wash my face without closing my eyes? How do I finish this shower? And then all of a sudden I hear my mom banging on the door. And she's like, you need to get out of the shower. They just called me that she passed. And I'm like, literally, that means when I was seeing her, like she probably had just been dying and was like flashing in front of my eyes type of thing. It was so creepy. But at the same time, I was like, whenever I look back at him, like, oh, I'm glad she came to like, I guess visit me, but be like, bye. I'm trying to tell you bye, but you being scary.
Yeah.
Like, but love me.
Yeah, that type of thing. So that was is that my only ghost story? That's the one that I remember like super vividly because it might have been like maybe 12 years ago at this point.
Wow.
But I don't think I will ever forget that because I remember the hospital situation. I was just like, that's so weird. And then literally days later, it was kind of happening to me, but I wasn't letting it happen.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
that is my ghost story.
Wow.
So at my mom's house, we're not sure if the person that lived there before us died in the house or died outside of the house. We know that she died. But I remember, and this has happened with both of the dogs, like they'll be outside of the kitchen and they'll just be looking at like this one spot. And then like Pikachu would be like, and I was like,
they be saying dogs and babies.
Dogs
Yeah,
and babies
and it's
for
like-
sure.
so I'm looking. So then I was like, it's fine, like whatever. Like, and then I remember, this is years later, Vuitton's just looking. And I was like, oh shoot. So I was like, you know what? We gonna go over there together. So I pick up Vuitton. She is no. I was like, both of us, we're like, nope. So then we just don't go over there anymore.
You don't go in that one corner of your house
Nope.
anymore.
Like, so we just sometimes she'll look and I'm like, don't look. We just gonna look the other way. Cover your eyes. Oh yeah. That's just one. My old boss, she always had like random ghost stories that she would like to tell me, and I would eat them up. And she was saying that one day she was going to, like, her and her husband, they were younger, they were going to this like one house. So they're like, they get there, it's like a store, but it was one of the, like a house store. So they were like upstairs, downstairs. So they get there, and then there's this lady sitting on the side, and she's like, you can't go up. And they were like, you can go up, but you can't go up. And she's like, why? And she's like, energy is off. She's like, okay. So then somebody comes from downstairs, and was like, the ghost upstairs said you can't come up. And they were like, oh. So she was like, that's fine. Like, I'll wait here. So her husband was like, I'ma still go. I'ma still go up. But then he came back down, and they were like, we just gonna go. Like, they were like, that's a good idea. So they just left. And okay, so sorry, got another one.
No,
so same
no.
person. So because she used to just tell me all these things, I was like, yo, your life is crazy. So they had a house, and her and her husband would like want to do renovations on the house. And they said like, and this is back in the time where you use checkbooks to pay for everything. And they would always have their checkbook like in this little thing on the kitchen counter. And whenever they would go to do a renovation, the checkbook wouldn't be there. And it was like, oh, like let's go get a porch or whatever on the house. And it was like, oh, did you move the checkbook? He was like, no. And I was like, oh, that's so weird. And then they said she was like, we could not find that checkbook for weeks. And it was like, okay, well, I guess we're just not gonna get a porch. And then the checkbook would be there. And it was like, that's weird. So she was like, okay, well, we'll get our bathroom redone. Checkbook gone. Like, and she said it would always happen. So then one day they had like somebody came by and they were doing like some record stuff. And then there was like, oh, like we wanted to get some renovation, or they were like about to move. They were doing that, and I was like, "Oh yeah, like we wanted to get renovations done to the house, but we can't, like, cause the checkbook always disappears." And the guy was like, "Oh, that's really weird." So then he like pulls out the records, and he's like, "Huh, that's interesting." He's like, "Oh, your house was built on like it was a trench here, like for a war before."
Oh.
And it was like,
Oh.
and he's like, maybe somebody just don't want you to change their house. Or I was,
Yeah.
and she was just like, we gonna go, like we getting out of here.
Exactly.
So I was like, that's creepy.
Yeah.
That's real creepy.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I don't like scary stuff, because like I know like the spiritual world is a real thing, like regardless of your religious affiliations, like
Yeah.
it's a reality. Like, yeah, man. Like I know with my maternal grandmother, she was like my favorite person when I was a little kid. And I think she passed around when I was 7 years old. But I would say about, maybe it might have been like 6 years after that. I like woke up one morning in, the childhood home I was in. And I don't know if she ever came to Maryland where I was like, I recognized her or I could remember. But yeah, so I woke up that morning. Both of my parents were still asleep. And I'm like walking down the hall to the bathroom. And I just see her like leaned up against the wall, like clear as day. Just see her in her like blue dress and her sun hat with like sunflowers on it. And I'm like stuck in my steps, like, what is happening? And I see her grin, and then she fades away. And like that memory is like burned into my brain like forever. Like, I mean, and it's not in a bad way. It was just the fact that like I was so shocked to see her, and to me it just felt like, I don't know, like she, people say like, once people pass, they're not still a part of your life, but I just felt like she was aware that I was doing okay. I don't know, like that's just what I took from it. Like it was a joyful and peaceful moment afterwards that I felt. But yeah, like I said, like I really do feel like the spiritual world is a very real thing. And that was probably my pleasant experience. My not so pleasant experience. It was before ninth grade, before I came to UMBC. Before ninth grade. Oh my god.
Before freshman year.
So it was before freshman year. And I was taking a class at like community college. And like between my classes, like I would like chill at somebody's house and then, head on to the school. And I remember like, I think the house maybe had like 3 or 4 people living in it. And I didn't really like being at the house. But at the time I wasn't driving because I'm diabetic. So they don't let you drive for just anything. They make you work for it. But anyway, yeah, we're at this person's house. And I just kept remembering like not feeling super comfortable and always welcome. And then I see somebody that I've like known for years. He lived there. And like I saw this thing like on his shoulders, like claws on his shoulders. And it had gold eyes. And you could see the eyes like above his head. And I don't know if his head was in his mouth but I just remember being able to see the claws and the gold eyes, and it was like a black shadow over him. And I was like, what am I seeing? And like, he's moving around the house, conversing with everybody like normal. And so I'm like, okay, well, time for class. Let's go. And I feel like I saw him maybe, I don't know if it was the next week or the week, like weeks after that. I don't know. I just remember like the next time I remembered seeing him, his whole aura, his whole spirit was just like darkness. Like the thing had finally like completely consumed him. And I knew it was whatever was perched on his shoulder. I knew it had completely like enclosed him. And when I saw him again, like you just see like this just darkness all over his body. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, is nobody else seeing this? Like nobody else. And then on top of that, in that same house, I remember having to use the bathroom, and they're like, oh, use the bathroom downstairs. And the guy that was in the basement, like he had been gone for like hours. And I went into the bathroom, and I just remember being like choked and suffocated. I could not breathe. And I just remember like, I don't recall hearing anything, but I just remember feeling like, you're not wanted here. Get out, get out. And I have never in my life like used the bathroom so quick and washed my hands to get up out of there. Cause I'm just like, what in the world? And that was probably like the worst, most uncomfortable I've ever been with like a spiritual encounter that I could remember. But yeah, like that was crazy. And I'm just like, for me, being from, a Christian background, I could only relate it to like a demonic presence, because it didn't feel like it was a person or a spirit in that bathroom. It felt like a demonic presence just in that area and in that house, and specifically in the basement. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, man. So I don't play with that stuff.
I don't play with it.
No.
I actually, this is not really a ghost story, but it's kind of the story that led me to switching over to natural menstrual products and like the cup and all of that. When I was like, all right, I get it. I was asleep on my period, have a tampon in, and I just felt like I couldn't get up. And I'm like, something ain't right. So I'm laying there, and I could hear people in the house because everybody's home. I'm at my dad's house, and I can hear them all walking by, and I'm trying, like outside of myself, I'm trying to get their attention. Like, somebody help me, I'm not okay. And I don't know how long I was there, but I was like freaking out. And that's when I stopped using tampons.
I never knew that.
Yes, that's what happened. Because I basically I could not move. I was just paralyzed, and like I could see myself outside of myself, and I was trying to get myself help, and I could not get myself help. And eventually like everything was released, and I jump up, take that joint out, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good off of this. And that's when I first bought that Diva cup for like $50, because I was like, it was $50. But I had to spend the money because I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how. That's not really a ghost story, but it was like what is going on?
Were you asleep?
I was asleep initially, and then I need to get up.
Was it like a sleep paralysis?
It could have been.
Because that joint is scary. I've had that before too.
Yeah.
Like this, the people that watch this at work, like, shut your mouths. I remember like when I was first like at work, and when I was going to school and doing too much, and I fell asleep at work, like at my desk, and then like I kind of woke up, and like my eyes were open, and I was like, shoot, I can't move my body, and it's just like, and I was like I could feel like me looking at myself, and I was like, get up.
Yes, that's Jonas weird.
I can't. And it was like, get up. Like, I ended up throwing myself onto the floor. And I just like fell out of my chair because like I couldn't move. So that it was like a full force like and like hitting the ground. And my coworker was like,
what's wrong with you?
He's like, what are you doing? I was like, I was trying to get you to get me up, but I was asleep. So
I feel like that's what it was, but I haven't experienced it again since I stopped using those toxic products.
They put on the labels like that tampons can cause toxic shock syndrome, and I feel
Ah.
even whether it was sleep paralysis or like a spiritual kind of like reckoning or just a message like to stop using these products, I would have definitely done the same thing. Like if you felt like it was the tampon that caused it, then I feel like that was like some kind of like spiritual intervention. Like, girl, stop playing with these things.
Especially if it's not happening again.
Yeah,
no, it has not happened again.
Yes,
But I definitely was like, I got the message. I threw all them junks away.
Yeah,
And was like, all natural for me. Like even down to panty liners. I'm like, I can't.
I mean, our vaginas are like the gateway to life. Like, I think people are just so casual about it. Like, they literally bring life into this world and host life for 9 whole months. Like, it's not just something we should just like, mainly because we live in a patriarchal society. Like, this is a rant, but because we live in a patriarchal society, I feel like it's so just whatever, you know, and we're just taught to just deal with it because that's how we were born. But it's very delicate. Like, it's very delicate. It's very sensitive. It cleans itself, so there's no need for people to like do all these like special products and stuff. Like, it is strong and sensitive at the same time. So definitely understand. And you also were the one that convinced me to like
I convinced everybody and their mama. I was just going around like, throw that away. Throw it away. Yeah.
Without knowing the story. Like, I always knew about toxic shock syndrome because my mom was always against me using tampons for that reason. But like, being a performer, you know, you can't just have a whole pad on and like, you know, be busting out splits and whatnot. So it was kind of like a necessary evil, but regularly it was just like, if you can avoid using them, stop. And like, now I'm definitely a cup gal.
Yeah.
I even convince other people, like, try the cup.
Yeah. I pretty much tell everybody. They be like talking about did you ever hear about But even now they have the cotton tampons, which aren't terrible. But
it's easier, but I still be like, I need to find. I think
they still have the warning. And it says something along the lines of like, it hasn't been tested enough to know if it does or doesn't. So we're just putting this on here to let you know. Yeah. But I will use those if I am going somewhere and I don't want to have to change a cup in a public place. That's the only time I'll use them. Otherwise, cut me up. Or like, I'll use period underwear. Yeah, I'll use that if
those are A1 for me. I really like the period underwear because sometimes I just don't be feeling like reaching up in there, getting the cup, emptying the cup, washing the cup, stuffing it back up in there.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Y'all welcome for this educational moment.
It's a lot. Shaun's probably like, okay. You never know. You might have a daughter.
You might.
Never know.
Who might need this information.
Yes. And then send them your way.
Yes.
Here you go. They got you.
I've actually helped friends via, like FaceTime and in person, like with the cup situation and tampons.
Okay. Okay.
So Auntie Jess is here for the sex talk and the sexual health talks.
But yeah.
Well, that was.
Go from here?
I don't know. I don't know where we go from there.
Future of Halloween.
Ooh.
Jess, you're trying to have a Halloween party.
Listen.
No one's invited.
Nobody go. Well, if you got an invite, you invited.
Yeah, it'll happen before this video's out, so doesn't matter.
Sorry you missed it. It was a banger. But yeah, no, I feel like I want to be that person that can host chill parties. You can't really see my eyes from here, but yeah, chill parties. Most of my friends are introverts, so I feel like having a party with an excuse for y'all to like dress
introverts?
up.
I might be, yes. Not might be. I am.
Exactly. I'm like,
but I don't know. Is that most though? Who else? Let me think about this.
Who else is introverted?
I think
not in our group.
Your husband's introverted. My husband's introverted. Your husband's introverted to a degree.
Yeah.
He's like me.
We
can
say
turn
most.
it on and off.
Yeah, we can say most. We can say
most.
Because Shaun might be the only extroverted now that I think about it.
Shaun is the only extroverted one.
Really?
I think so.
Yes.
If you really think about it, you are.
How do you think you're AY?
That's true. Squirrel is extroverted.
But he doesn't have time to be.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like with most of my friends being like introverted, like having a party that's chill, like, but you can still dress up and still like have adult fun, you know?
Grown people fun.
That's who I should have been, Megan Thee Stallion. Mom life.
Yes.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like just having a reason to actually get out of your house, but still be in an environment that most people are comfortable in. I feel like most people feel welcomed and comfortable in our house. And play games. Like, just get out, play games, dress up, because, nobody's giving you candy as a full grown adult. So let's have some
True.
sweets here. It's called Desserts and Disguises. Hashtag me, give me credit for the idea. But yeah, Desserts and Disguises. Think we'll see if it's going to be an annual thing, but yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
I won't be there.
I
but
know. You got prior party commitments, Mr.
I do.
Popular.
I know. But
Popular.
I'm popular. I'm mean. No, y'all don't know
from
that?
Tennessee.
Yeah,
I like eggs.
I am also having a small shindig. Not really. I'm not really having it. It's my neighborhood thing. It's like a it's a way for our neighbors to get to know each other. So we're doing like a 30-minute house crawl.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's called Boozy Zombies. So what we're gonna do is like you basically take 30 minutes at one person's place and they provide appetizers and drinks. It doesn't have to be in their house. It can be in their garage. It can be in their backyard. It can be on the street if they want. And then you go to the next one.
30
and then
minutes
you
is
go.
a long time, though.
It
isn't
is.
it?
I'd be
It
like,
is.
can we
So
go
it's
to
on.
the
It's
next one?
yeah. I mean, but it's only like a 2-hour, 2.5-hour thing. I don't know. We'll see how long it is. And then if it's dry, then you always can move on because it's not like you're going far.
Let me go home.
I gotta go use the bathroom. Okay.
Right? Like I'll be back.
Good time for the
I'm gonna
next
go.
house.
Oh, I was just gonna go back to my house. So yeah, a little shindig,
That's cute.
something small, just to be able to be like, "What's your name?
Yeah.
Who are you?"
I like the idea of like facilitating community in a community. Like,
Yeah.
I live in a neighborhood, and I mean, you don't really bangs with your neighbors. You just cool
Right.
enough with them to be like, hey, something was happening at your house, or hey, all right, bye.
Right.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm worried about is my area. They're so they they be on the Facebook page and
Oh,
they would
yeah.
take pictures of somebody like real quick.
They're Karens and
Basically,
Kevins.
but like so when we were moving in they had like a welcome thing, so everybody that was getting a place, they got like pizza, like a pizza truck, so you can like they give out pizza, they give out
Mhm.
snow cones and stuff, and they were like, so I saw on the Facebook page they were like, who having pizza and didn't invite everybody over, and I was like, that's gonna be us at this thing.
Listen.
When we go from house to house. Somebody gonna snap a picture of us and be like, so y'all not gonna invite the whole community?
Oh, so the whole community isn't invited.
No, not the whole. It's like my street.
Okay, come on.
Y'all about to be on the Facebook page.
Right. Somebody
We are.
about to blow y'all spot up.
It's just my street. I'm like, if y'all don't tell anybody over there, I mentioned it in my write up to them, like, hey, let's do this. Let's not make it too big so we don't make it on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Because I ain't trying to get no pictures snapped of us.
That's
They crazy.
Still a neat idea, though.
It is. It's cute. Just, I don't like if you're not invited, it's okay, baby. You don't got to be invited to everything.
Right. I'm
Yeah,
just trying to get to
really
know my
don't.
neighbors' names.
Exactly.
Who are you?
And it's y'all first one. It's like, oh, we
Right.
just test running it. We just got to see.
Yeah. Keeping it small, keeping it light. I feel like you said that in an episode before.
For
I feel like you said that.
Oh, I might have.
For our,
Oh, no, she said keeping it light, keeping it something. That's how she said it. It's going to be a little light. It might be a little heavy.
Yeah.
For our this or
Okay,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
I did have a this or that Halloween edition.
Oh, what's up?
Pumpkin pie. Well, it's more so, I guess,
Ooh.
what is that? Thanksgiving. Pumpkin pie. Or
Should we wait for Thanksgiving?
we can do that.
Nah, go ahead. You already started.
Or I can do candies.
Okay.
Pumpkin pie. Or sweet potato.
I don't eat pie.
No pie. No pie. That's from Raven's Home. The That's So Raven Part
I
2.
have never watched that.
That joint is my show.
Her hairline went back real far.
Don't
sorry.
Don't do Raven like that.
I thought that was a
Um,
style, though.
I think so. I mean,
Yeah,
she got
I
like
think
the
it was
dreads
just
and
Oh,
the
she does have the locks.
yeah
Yeah.
locks. That one's hard. I don't know. I make pumpkin pie, but I eat sweet potato pie probably more if I don't make the pumpkin pie.
So sweet potato then.
But I do like my pumpkin pie is a pumpkin cheesecake. It's a 3-layer,
That's not a pumpkin pie.
but it's 3 layers.
A
It's cheesecake, pumpkin cheesecake, and
It's a
pumpkin.
cheesecake. We
Sweet
need them
potato.
on equitable. Okay.
Sweet potato pie.
There we go. I don't know. My dad makes a bomb. He makes bomb both. So it's really hard for me to decide. I actually think I would eat more pumpkin pie, to be honest.
Hmm.
I think I like pumpkin because of the spice is just different. Like sweet potato, you can't
That's
have too
true.
much spice. You gotta like make sure you taste the sweet potato. And I'm like, give me that spice. Give me that allspice, that nutmeg, like
I
the
know.
cinnamon. I get all of that with the pumpkin. And I taste all of it with the pumpkin.
They
So
don't call
pumpkin
it
pie.
sweet potato spice latte. I
Oh,
wonder how that
true.
would be.
I don't know with the sweet potato because sweet potatoes
Well-
can be hit or miss for people.
But you don't actually use pumpkin and pumpkin spice. It's just the spice.
Oh, well, I had the Trader Joe's one my first time trying pumpkin spice, and I was just like, this is
It's
an
just
abomination.
It's just pumpkin spice.
It's
There ain't
an
no pumpkin.
aberration. No, they had pumpkin in there, and it was nasty.
Okay, well.
Yeah. If you had to choose.
I haven't had either, really, to know. I
Okay,
mean,
so-
I like sweet potato fries.
Another aberration of having.
Sweet potato fries
sweet
are
potatoes.
bomb.
They are good.
I do not respect them. Ever.
They're delicious.
No.
A little bit of
I
garlic
remember this
salt.
conversation.
Yeah. I am adamantly, vehemently against
Girl, you
sweet
using
potatoes in savory form.
Words I don't know. What was the second one? It's
Vehemently?
it's probably because I didn't even hear what you said.
No.
But even when you said it again, it was like, nope.
It just means like nearly hatefully. Like,
Oh,
or if not hatefully.
okay. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way
It's cool.
about the
I don't
sweet
know.
potato fry.
You know who else feels that way? Bob from Bob's Burgers. He's a fictional character, but it doesn't matter. I have somebody on my side.
My husband doesn't like him either, but
'Cause we're the
he
same.
doesn't matter.
Alright.
Y'all, first of all, Jess is not to be trusted when it comes to food.
That's true.
Just because I don't eat meat and I have a very diverse, mature palate,
But don't eat sweet potato fries.
because my palate is mature.
Sweet potato fries are delicious. Oh, let me tell y'all a story
This is
About-
not long.
about how Jess and I tried to make the pan cookies.
Did I get that for y'all?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
We tried to make it from scratch.
Whoa.
And
This
Jess
is embarrassing. But yeah.
Way too much baking powder in it.
Baking soda.
Baking
it was
soda.
Baking soda.
Baking soda. And the junk just tasted like baking soda. And Jess said, "This is delicious." And I said, "This is why I don't trust you with food." All I could taste was baking soda, and Jess was eating it. And I was just like, can't be trusted.
That's true.
Part of it is my childhood trauma of not wasting food, and the other part is the fact that I am a savory person. I don't really like sweets, so they were salty to me, and I was like, "Oh,
They
okay, we
were
got a little
gross.
salty, sweet chocolate."
Do y'all know
chip
what
cookie.
baking soda smell? Baking soda. That's how I tasted. It was gross.
It really wasn't that bad now that I think about it.
She
But
doubles down, and
I
hopefully
won't make the mistake again. But I'm just saying, I ate the cookies.
she did. She really did.
Don't make them cookies for what's it called? Dress up in dessert.
Listen, I know my pocket, and it is them pound cakes, and I was stay.
Oh,
in
yeah.
my
That
pocket.
pound cake.
She does make some good pound cake, but
was.
don't
Stay in
ask
my
her to make
pocket.
nothing else.
Don't ask me to
True.
make no cookies. I am not a baker. Baking is chemistry. I am not great with chemistry.
We
UMBC
remember.
ruined me. UMBC, man.
I don't think any of us were great with chemistry, except for the two. Well, we
Moyo.
thought we were about to be great with chemistry.
And
we were.
Marcus. Moyo and Marcus probably were the better people at chemistry.
I was good at chemistry lab, the application of things, but I actually really am really bad at tests. Like, I could understand
too.
what they were saying, and I could
Maybe
apply
that's
it
what
in
it
lab.
is. Yeah.
I had straight A's in all my labs, but the class side was like a whole joke. I was like, I can't do this. I went all the way to like, I think I just went to organic chemistry, and then I was like, all right, I'm out. I can't do this no more.
We thought we were about to be chemical engineers.
Mhm.
Wow.
I didn't even make it to the first class.
I got to the
I
second
got
one.
far. I
Oh.
think I did 3 whole years before I was like, I
true.
can't do this.
It didn't align with my schedule for work. I was like, all the classes
Yeah,
in the morning.
Yeah, they
I
were
was
like
like,
8 a.m.
yeah, and I was like, I got work.
They were trying to haze you. They were trying to get you up out of there.
They
'Cause
did.
They didn't want the people who couldn't handle it and make it ruining their ratio
Yeah, well,
of successful students.
I was gone
Listen,
real quick.
after should I put this man's name on blast?
Mm-mm.
But it was one of the professors. I literally like went to him after lab and I was like, yo, I am doing everything. I am going to the study sessions. I'm talking with the TAs. I'm, taking extra like tutoring sessions when I can, but something is just not clicking. And he was like, I guess you should just drop the class.
Oh,
in
that
the
was their
major."
favorite thing to say at
It
that
was.
school.
And I was like, and sure enough, I did.
We've been there.
I could have been a professor there. Shoot,
Listen.
I'll be real quick. Just drop the class.
Like, that was that single line. Maybe you should drop the class.
And the man laughed at me. I was just like, mind you, after college, I did take like a chemistry hybrid class that was like organic as well, but it like dealt with like the human body, and I was doing pretty good. I mean, granted, I did have a great tutor. Shout out to my tutor, who was a friend of mine, who's an actual chemist, but it was the fact that I was just like, this is a whole different experience than UMBC. Like, they literally were hazing me.
Oh, community college? Because that's why I thought I could do it. I went to
Yes!
community college. I took like 3 chemistry classes so I could get those credits, but it was not the same. I was like, these people were sitting there hand holding me,
Mm-mm.
and y'all are like, here's the book, figure it out.
Right.
Mhm.
Been there.
But
Did that.
this is not a UMBC slander channel. We
It's
love our
not.
school.
We did.
We love our alma mater.
UM?
BC.
UM?
All right, that's
BC?
enough.
Oh, dang.
Go Big Dogs.
Well, I feel like
Hold-
oh, go ahead.
Whole time, one more thing.
Go ahead.
Every time we went to a UMBC basketball game, I had on the other team's colors. Literally.
'Cause you
And
weren't
this wasn't
loyal.
on purpose. It really was never on purpose because I had no idea who would be playing. It would just happen like that.
We also didn't go to the basketball games for basketball.
Y'all
Exactly.
did.
We just were like,
Y'all were so
Jess's
supportive.
dance
Yeah.
goes.
But I always felt so bad because I would be sitting in the pool of yellow and black, and then it would be me in whatever color that was not yellow or black. But yeah, good times. I wasn't trying to be out. I was just like, I came here from wherever I was at. That was it.
Right. Like, we just trekked here from D Hall. Like,
Y'all were always supportive friends. I'll give y'all that. Even when y'all talk about me, it's still supportive.
we do it because you can take it.
It's fair.
You can.
I enjoy it sometimes. Sometimes it's entertaining.
I know, because if it doesn't happen, then you're like, you're not gonna get me. Like, you're not gonna talk about this. What about this? Nah, I'm okay.
Listen, at this point, sometimes you just be sitting there, you just be like, dang, that was hilarious.
It'd be like that.
It'd be the faking.
I know.
People gotta know that you be faking.
They do.
I actually was talking about that earlier with my husband. Like, if there's certain things I act like I don't like that he does it, but if he don't do it, I'd be like, excuse you? Did I ask you to not do that today? Like, and same thing with him. Like, I call that man to death. To death. To death. And he'll be like, so you weren't gonna call me? And I'm like, every time I call you, you say, why do I call you so much? Be faking. Just be faking. But yeah.
It's horrible.
I don't know how we got from ghost stories to here. Our episodes always go like from
They know
one
where they
place
wanna go.
to
They do.
another. Titan be wanting a guest star too, but one day.
Star.
I was waiting for it. But well, that was our Halloween episode. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed our guest stars speaking today. I know we were all over the place, but that's what you love us for. So remember, like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever you got to do. Bye.
Bye.
We love you.